Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. May peace be upon all of us. His Excellency, Chairperson of BKKBN, Bapak Dr. Hasto Wardoyo, MD OBGYN, which is in this occasion represented by Ibu Dr. Dwi Listiawardani, Family Planning Principal Counselor Expert. His Excellency Mr. Dan Adrian Balanescu, Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia. His Excellency Mr. Meja Tama Suryodiningrat, the Ambassador Extraordinary Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Indonesia to Romania, accredited to the Republic of Moldova. Honorable Dr. Uki Kusuma Kurniawan, Officer in Charge Deputy for Training, Research and Development of BKKBN, Honorable Ms. Alexandra Dobre, Director General of the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunity of Romania, Honorable Dr. Yulina Evariani, PhD, Parenting and Family Support Center, the University of Queensland, Australia, as moderator for today's webinar. Honorable Director for Europe Regional 2, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. Honorable dignitaries of BKKBN, both central and provincial office, distinguished mass media, distinguished BKKBN participants from 34 provinces, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, we would like to convey our gratitude to all of you for finding time to visit this event. Allow me to welcome all of you to the event of Ambassador Insight, today with the Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia. My name is Yuda. I'm from Center for International Training and Collaboration, BKKBN, and I will be the Master of Ceremony for this event. Before we start, we would like to check whether participants joined virtually can see and hear my voice from your place. If yes, would you please kindly give a thumb up response? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the feedbacks. If there's something trouble with the voice, please let us know through the chat box. In case of any technical issue, please give me a signal in the chat. We will try to help you to resolve it quickly. His Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today's event, namely Ambassador Insight, which previously known as Ambassador Talk. This is a monthly event initiated by the Center for International Training and Collaboration of BKKBN since 2021. The aim is to showcase the Bangga Kencana program, stand for Pembangunan Keluarga, Kependudukan, dan Keluarga Berencana, or Family Development, Population, and Family Planning Program to our foreign counterpart and to explore potential collaboration between BKKBN, the government of Indonesia, with its foreign partner. His Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have a few housekeeping information. First, today's webinar is also broadcasted live on YouTube. Second, participants could submit text questions to our guest speaker through Slido link provided in the chat box. We will collect and address them during the Q&A session. Third, please don't forget to put your name and organization and to whom your question be addressed. Fourth, the link of attendance to get the e-certificate and materials of this event will be shared at the end of the session. Fifth, we also provide door prize provided by the Embassy of Romania for participants who actively participated in this event during the Q&A and discussion sessions. His Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we would like to take a picture of all participants joined virtually in this webinar for our documentation report. We would like to request all of you, the participants, to kindly open up your camera screens and turn on your camera from your laptop or computer. I will take countdown from 3 to 1. Please, ladies and gentlemen, could you please be prepared? We will take a photo session together.
Recording in progress.
There will be 84 participants. So it will be more or less four times. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ready for the first picture? 3, 2, 1, action. Second picture? 3, 2, 1, action. And the third picture? 3, 2, 1, action. And the final? 3, 2, 1, action. Okay, thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to begin with, we would like to request the honor to invite the chairperson of the National Population and Family Planning Board of the Republic of Indonesia, which is in this occasion represented by Ibu Dr. Listia Wardani, to give her welcoming remark and officially open this event. Ibu Dr. Dwi Listia Wardani, the screen is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon. In this occasion, I would like to read some remarks from the chairperson of the National Population and Family Planning Board, Dr. Hasto. On this occasion, the Ambassador Insight between BKKBN and the Embassy of Romania to Republic of Indonesia. His Excellency Mr. Dan Andrian Balinescu, the Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia. His Excellency Mr. Mediatama Suryodiningrat, the Ambassador of Indonesia to Romania. Representative from the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities of Romania. Dr. Uki Kusuma, Officer in Charge, Deputy of Training, Research and Development of BKKBN. Ibu Dr. Yulina Evariani, PhD, Parenting and Family Support Center from the University of Queensland, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us thank to God Almighty to His blessing and for allowing us to meet in this very important event. And first of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to the Embassy of Romania to Indonesia and the Embassy of Indonesia in Bucharest and the Ministry of Family, Youth, Equal Opportunity of Romania for participate and contribute to this event. This is a glorious moment, and I wish to extend my warm welcome on behalf of the Chairman of BKKBN to this event, namely Ambassador Insight, to share policies, programs, and best practices between the two countries in the field of population, family planning, and family development. Excellencies, honorable ladies and gentlemen, the law concerning population development and family development clearly illustrates the strategic role of BKKBN in family development by being directly responsible to the President of Indonesia. BKKBN is the spearhead for the formation of quality families from an early age through the program named Bangga Kencana, or pembangunan keluarga, kependudukan, and keluarga berencana, or in English is Family Development, Population, and Family Planning Program. And BKKBN strive to create quality families and balanced population growth in Indonesia. Excellencies, honorable ladies and gentlemen, as the institution that responsible to manage population growth through family planning program, BKKBN not only focus on controlling the number of children for each family, but also pay attention to improving the welfare of family planning acceptors by implementing a kind of income generating program called Program Usaha Peningkatan Pendapatan Keluarga Aseptor Keluarga Berencana, or in English means efforts to increase family income of family planning acceptors. This initiative attempts to help families raise their income by facilitating the provision of skills training and business capital assistance. The trainings provided by BKKBN's partner cover various of business skill. Apart from that, BKKBN also facilitate the community groups to receive business financing support to start or to grow their own business. These efforts will allow family acceptor to become economically independent. And in the long run, the program is expected to reduce poverty and improve people's standard of living. In this regard, BKKBN aims to empower families economically and to reduce their dependency on government welfare programs. Excellency, honorable ladies and gentlemen, today, through this meeting, we have the opportunities to share information and best practice of both countries, Indonesia and Romania. We also have the opportunities to hear the program and best practices and gain lesson learned from the Embassy of Romania, especially from the Ministry of Family, Youth, and Equal Opportunities of the Government of Romania to improve our program, especially to strengthening the family income. Excellencies, honorable ladies and gentlemen, lastly, BKKBN stresses the need of global cooperation to address global issues such as population and development issues, as demonstrated in our nomination for United Nations Population Award 2022, which is Indonesia championed the issue of population as one of the key drivers of development. In closing, allow me to express my deep appreciation for the cooperation network that built between BKKBN and the Embassy of Romania to Indonesia, and may this activity benefit both countries and become as a bridge for further cooperation. Finally, with this remark, I declare the event open and wish you all fruitful discussion. I thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency Ibu Dr. Dwi Listiawadani, for your remarks and officially open this event. His Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we are coming to the discussion session, which will be moderated by Dr. Yulina Evariani. Before we continue, please allow me to read her short bio first. Dr. Yulina Evariani is currently working at Department of Family and Consumer Science, Faculty of Human Ecology, Bogor Agricultural University, and she is also work for Parenting and Family Support Center School of Psychology, the University of Queensland, Australia. Her portfolio included, among others, research and developments on family and consumer sciences. And she has also become several consultants in several ministries in Indonesia, such as Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection, and also Ministry of Education and Culture. Dr. Yulina Evariani, who was graduated from postdoctoral in Child and Family Studies, the University of Queensland, also earned Doctor of Philosophy in Child and Family Studies, the University of Queensland, and Master of Cognitive Psychology and Educational Practices, Flinders University of South Australia. To Dr. Yulina Evariani, the floor is yours.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May peace be upon all of us. His Excellency Chairperson of BKKBN, Bapak Dr. Hasto Wardoyo, MD of GIN, who is represented by Ibu Dr. Listia Wardani. And then His Excellency Mr. Dan Adrian Balenesu, Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia. His Excellency Mr. Mediatama Suryodiningrat, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Indonesia to Romania, accredited to the Republic of Moldova. And then Dr. Uki Kusuma Kurniawan, SKM MPS MA, Officer in Charge, Deputy for Training, Research and Development of BKKBN. And also Ms. Alexandra Dobre, Director General of the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities of Romania, who is coming online this afternoon. So thank you, Pak Yuda, for giving me this opportunity. So I'm very glad this afternoon I'm able to moderate this very important webinar. So family development and family planning is one of the national development issue with an emphasis on the importance of strengthening family resilience. Protection and empowerment of the family as the smallest unit in the society is the main target in family development, while family planning can build resilience through healthier and smaller families and contribute to ending the cycle of crisis that cripples so many countries. Family development and family planning is an effort to create quality, resilient, and prosperous family who live in a healthy environment at every stage of life. So ladies and gentlemen, in this webinar, we will have a sharing knowledge, best practices, and experience on innovation in strengthening family income. And we have this afternoon, lesson learned from Romania. So first of all, I'm going to invite Dr. Uki Kusuma Kurniawan, SKM MPS MA, as an officer in charge, Deputy for Training, Research and Development of National Population and Family Planning Board of the Republic Indonesia, to present on efforts to increase family welfare through income-generating program for family planning sector in Indonesia. So please, Dr. Uki, the time is yours.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. A very good afternoon to all of you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And Bună ziua in Romanian language, is it? Meaning a very good afternoon in Jakarta time, or maybe good morning in Romania time, in Bucharest. Thank you. Bună ziua. We just learned from Google. Thank you very much. So, very good afternoon. May peace be upon all of us. His Excellency Dr. Hasto Wardoyo, MD of GIN, the Chairman of BKKBN, in this regard is represented by Madam Dr. Dwi Listia Wardani, family planning principal counselor expert from BKKBN, His Excellency Mr. Dan Adrian Balanisiu, the Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, Excellency, for allowing your time. His Excellency Mr. Mediatama Suryo Diningrat, the Ambassador of Indonesia to Romania, accredited to the Republic of Moldova. Our Honorable Madam Alexandra Dobre, Director General, Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunity of Romania in Bucharest by virtual. Good morning, Madam. Maybe now it's around 9 or to 10 a.m. in the morning. 11 a.m. in the morning in Bucharest time. Thank you. And then our Honorable Dr. Yulina Evariani, PhD, Madam Moderator, from the Parenting and Family Support Center, the University of Queensland, Australia, and also our Honorable Representative from the Directorate European 2, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia, Madam Dian Hafid. Thank you, Ibu, for coming, allowing your time. And our dignitaries of BKKBN, both central and provincial offices. Thank you very much. Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, Ibu Dani, and all protocol observed. The title of the presentation from BKKBN entitled Effort to Increase Family Welfare Through Income Generating Program for Family Planning Acceptor. This is in line with our program in Indonesia to increase the family welfare for our people in Indonesia. Next slide, please. Yes, the outline of this presentation would be divided by 4 parts. The first part will be the overview of population and family planning in Indonesia. Secondly, the current BKKBN. Excellency Mr. Ambassador, Excellency Bapak Mediatama, the BKKBN stands for National Population and Family Planning Board of Republic of Indonesia. In Indonesia, we call it BKKBN. Our current BKKBN strategic plan for the next 4 years, from the year 2020 until 2024. And the third part of our presentation would be Family Development and Family Resilience Program, in which quite similar with the program that will be raised by Excellency Mr. Ambassador of Romania in terms of the fourth part of our presentation, the income generating program for family planning acceptor in Indonesia. Next slide, please. Now, we proceed to the first part of this presentation, an overview of population and family planning program in Indonesia. Next slide, please. So these slides explain us regarding the long journey of the Indonesia transition on fertility rates. Yeah, since the establishment of the BKKBN, the National Population and Family Planning Board, in the year 1970, at that time, the TFR, total fertility rate of Indonesia, accounted for 5.6 children per woman. Yes, based on the population census 1971. And those alongside with the long journey, we keep decreasing the trend. Yes, by now, by the long-form population census, year 2020, now Indonesian total fertility rate accounts for 2.18 children per woman. So this is a remarkable achievement due to the success of family planning program in Indonesia. And also, we noted here that during in the area or in the period of 2003, in the early 2000s, we also experiencing the decentralization policy, in which not influencing we still have the keep decreasing trend of total fertility rates, in which then and the international United Nations audience recognize this achievement And so then Indonesia was awarded by the United Nations Population Award in the year 2022 for this remarkable achievement. And by the year until 2045, yes, the golden years of Indonesia since its independence. So on the trend of TFR will be keep maintained into 2.1 children per women. So then we can reach or achieve the so-called the population balance, the growth balance population growth, meaning we will achieving the stable population stage. Next slide, please. This slide also explains us about the trends in the population pyramid structure. We will compare between year 2020 and the year 2040. Now, nowadays here, we have the current population structure here, dominantly still in the youth population here. Yes, the population will be shifting, still relatively young population to that characterized in the 2040, we have population aging with the share of the population above age 60 years old keep increasing. Yes. In the year 2020, it implies a potential large workforce. Yes. The workforce should be educated and have higher skill than can be absorbed by the employment opportunity. With more people in the productive age, it also boosts national economic growth and also national consumption and national savings. Next slide, please. Now we proceed to the second part of this presentation, entitled BKKBN Strategic Plan for the next 4 years, 2020 until 2024. Next slide, please. Yes. Excellency Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Balaneshu, and also Mr. Ambassador Media Tama, Honorable Madam Director General Dovri, Honorable Madam Dani, and also Madam Moderator and all protocol officers. BKKBN has embraced its vision and mission for the next 4 years. This is in aligning with the vision and the mission of the current President of Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Joko Widodo. In terms of the vision of BKKBN, we aiming in realizing a quality family and also to achieve balanced population growth. In terms of then the mission, is translated from the mission of BKKBN. Firstly, we will deal with the population management nationwide through all Indonesian people. We manage the population structure and also population dynamics. Secondly, we also conduct family planning and reproductive health, alongside with clockwise. Family planning and reproductive health. Thirdly, we also work in the family development issue to organize holistic and integrated family development, in which this will be our topic for this afternoon discussion. And then fourthly, we have networking to build partnership and network community participation and global cooperation, in which this is our directorate in BKKBN. The Center for International Training and Collaboration deals with the global cooperation networking with the embassies, all the countries in Jakarta, to conduct this event, Ambassador Insight. We would like to invite the insight from the Mr. or Madam Ambassador regarding population, family planning, and family development issues. And fifthly, we also deals with the innovation and IT. And lastly, enhance capacity and human resources. Next slide, please. In terms of then, national policy and strategic direction of BKKBN. This is also translated from the vision and mission of BKKBN. Then we will have now against the clockwise. We will start with family resilience and welfare in a holistic and integrated manner, in which this become our topic for this afternoon discussions. regarding family income generation activities. And secondly, we also increasing access and quality in terms of comprehensive family planning and reproductive health services. And then thirdly, we also manage a population control policy. And fourthly, increasing advocacy and mobilization of the so-called Bangga Kencana program. This is Indonesian terminology, Mr. Ambassador. His Excellency, Bangga Kencana stands for the Family Development, Population and Family Planning Program. And lastly, strengthening family information system. And those all five aspects will be backed up or supported by the management system, improving quality of BKKBN workforce, increasing research, innovation, and global partnership. And in the middle, improving quality of management. And lastly, the accountability of our program. And so, all those mentioned items will be justified or what becoming the feasible for us to have collaboration with our partner, the Republic of Romania. And also in this regard, to our Honorable Madam Director General Duvre, we would like to inform you that in this April 2024, we will be invited to attend a so-called UN CPD session, the 57th United Nations Commission on Population and Development session, and they will invite all the Central Office of Population and Family Planning Board, all the country, across countries, to attend in New York's UN headquarters, and hopefully we can meet there, Madam Director General Duvre, and we plan to invite your institution as one of the speakers for the side event during that UN CPD session in New York. Will be organized by the government of Indonesia in collaboration with the Philippines, and we will invite the Romania representing a European region, Kenya representing African region, and also Iran to represent the Middle Eastern areas. Next slide, please. In terms of this strategy, also supported by the organized institution and management of the Family Development, Population and Family Planning Program, or Bangga Kencana. Excellency Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Balaneshu, and also Mr. Media Tama, Honorable Madam Director General Duvre, Madam Dani, and also Madam Moderator, all protocol observers. We have divided 4 items or aspects to support this program nationwide in Indonesia. In terms of, firstly, institutional arrangement. Secondly, regulatory frameworks. And thirdly, in terms of funding. And lastly, public service delivery frameworks. Firstly, in terms of institutional arrangements, we are in Indonesia, the central BKKBN office has been supported by or backed up by 33 provincial offices of population and family planning. And also we have 14,000 family planning field workers until grassroots or village level. And also backed up or supported by another 10,000 non-government employees of family planning field workers. And still, we have the voluntary cadres accounts for 1.2 million cadres across nation. Secondly, in terms of regulation or regulatory frameworks, we have also the Family Development, Population and Family Planning acknowledged within or accommodated into our national medium-term development plans in the next 4 years. And also supportive regulation from the line ministry and local government to support this program. And thirdly, in terms of funding, yes, the central government also support so-called specific allocation fund to local government at district or municipality level from Indonesian budget to support this program on family planning, family development and population program until district level down to below. And secondly, mobilization on the use of family or village fund for the program. And lastly, public service delivery framework. We also design minimum standard for each public services as a reference for local governments, and also provision of contraceptive for eligible couple. Yes, free contraceptive for all eligible couple across nation. And also we conduct family census to measure to what extent our achievement in terms of this program. Next slide, please. Now, we are proceeding into the third part of this presentation, so-called family development and family resilient program. So from those 6 missions of BKKBN or mission of the government of Indonesia, now we down below to the second part of this mission entitled Family Development and Family Resilient Program. Next slide, please. In this term, Family Development Program, in BKKBN, we apply the approach on the family life cycle approach to design our program, to implement, or also to targeting the specific group. Yes, from the womb to the tomb. So we start from the marriage. Secondly, childbirth. Thirdly, the children age, school age. Fourthly, adolescent. After then, we have the youth people. And then adult people, we have UPPKA, a so-called income generating activities, until then adult turned into elderly. And then start again from the beginning. So between each of the stages of this program, we already designed the program to support this achievement or for each stage. For example, number 3, during the children growth, we develop a so-called Bina Keluarga Balita or family development for family with children or a toddler under 5 years old. In terms of the adolescent, number 5, BKKBN also designed its program in a so-called Bina Keluarga Remaja or family group activity with those family having adolescent. Yes, and also PIC-R, that's a Center for Information and Counseling for Youth. And also from the UPPKA, for the basically income generating activity group. And then in our office, start from the central, provincial until district level, we also provide as a so-called Prosperous Family Service Center or PPKS, Prosperous Family Service Center in each of our office from central, provincial until district level. Next slide, please. This is the target of the family development activities. The target, the aim, the objective. We have 5 actually here, yes. Firstly, to increase the ability of family in care for and also assisting children, especially children under 5 years old. Secondly, increasing the ability to support family in assisting their adolescents. And thirdly, improving the quality of vulnerable family through empowering vulnerable families. And fourthly, we support the family with the elderly. And lastly, we also support the increasing family economic independence. This to achieve the outcome on realizing a quality family that is independent, peaceful, and happy. I have 3 more minutes. Sorry. Next slide, please. Yes, and this is we translated into our specific program here, the toddler, for the adolescent, and also elderly, and lastly, family income empowerment. Next slide, please. Now, the last part of this presentation, income generating program for family planning acceptor. Next slide, please. Family development through family economic empowerment. This is the very important and strategic for improving the independence on the economy of our family in Indonesia. Next slide, please. The family of the family planning acceptor is a productive economic business consists of the family acceptor and their family member. So every 10 household or family in each village, they can get together and build a so-called group, economic group, and they decided to establish one economic micro entrepreneurship. And then they share the capital, and also will they share the benefit of their business output. Next slide, please. This is the aim of the family empowerment. We hope that they can be sustainable through cross-sector participation. Basically, the location would be in a quality family village, and the target group would be in the family who using long-term contraceptive method, also include their family member, and coordinated by family planning village working group. Next slide, please. We need also, in terms of developing this group, we need the support or the facilitation from the pentahelix, from the businessmen, from the government, the media, society, and also the academia. Next slide, please. The purpose, what the purpose for establishing this UPPKA group, the economic income generating? Firstly, to foster entrepreneurship. Secondly, to understand an importance of innovative, creative innovation. And lastly, to love the use of local domestic product. Next slide, please. The activities of these income generating groups to create product and spreading the market. And also, secondly, to establish the group and networking. And thirdly, in terms of fundraising, source of funding, and also coaching needs. Next slide, please. This is the map of the distribution of those income generating group throughout the country. We have the total 34,000 group of the income generating group across country. The largest proportion would be in the Central Java province. Yes, 20% of those total number located in the Central Java province. Next slide, please. This is the example of the local products or the product of those UPPKA groups, income generating group, starting from the animal product and the plantation product, textile, snacks, handicraft, and so on. So this is have the economic value and hopefully to boost or increase their economic income for each families. Next slide, please. They market their product through application, also called Yo Sakurda. Yes, this is also supported by our institution BKKBN through this application. Next slide. Also through printed media, so-called Katrina, the routine regular magazine, or thirdly, next slide please, through live selling, virtual selling, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, how to produce and product description, special promotion, and so on. Next slide, please. In closing, family development aim to improve the quality family. Secondly, family development indicator to include dimension of happiness, peace in independence, especially in economy. Thirdly, independence family is a family with have income, entrepreneurship, and saving. Business group activity to increase family income through micro business. And lastly, our institution representing the government of Indonesia, BKKBN, not only focusing to manage the number of children, but also pays attention to improve family welfare from those family planning acceptor by implementing the program named UPPKA or Family Income Generating Activity. Next slide, please. Multumesh. Thank you very much in Romanian language. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, Bapak Dr. Uki. So from your presentation, I can see the overview from overview family population and then BKKBN strategic planning until 6 strategies that BKKBN going to achieve until what is very interesting, the last presentation about the income generating thing. So I'm amazed that the income generating strategy is not only valuable to increase the family income, but also to love domestic products. That's I think very, very valuable message they have to strengthen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, so we move on to the second presentation. We will invite His Excellency Dan Adrian Balenescu, Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia. But before he give the presentation, so I would like to read his biography. So, His Excellency Dan Adrian Balenescu, he's the Ambassador of Romania to Indonesia since 2020, and then before that, he's Minister of Consular. Yeah, from 2016 to 2020. And also he has very professional, many professional awards, such as Nicola Tuteles Award for the Best Diplomatic Debut for 2001, Certificate of Merit awarded by the President of Romania for the contribution to the Romanian chairmanship of the OSCE in 2001, Certificate of Merit awarded by the President of Romania for the contribution to Romania's accession to NATO in 2002, and also special medal awarded by the Czecho government for the cooperation during the Czecho EU presidency 2009. And also he is also authorized translator from English, French, and Italian to Romanian. So the time is yours. So please welcome His Excellency Dan Adrian Balenescu.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and also thank you very much for inviting me to this very important event to start some cooperation between the National Population and Family Planning Board of the Republic of Indonesia and the Romanian counterpart institution, which is the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities. It is really a privilege for me to address the participants of this meeting and to speak about different innovative solutions Romania has developed to increase the income of the families in Romania. And I have just witnessed the different solutions envisaged by Indonesia, and they are quite impressive. The help of the families to get more income. I also fondly remember my trip last year to Lake Toba, organized by the BKKBN, where I also witnessed lots of interesting activities in support of families by the BKKBN. Now about the topic. We have discussed also before that even though the challenges Romania and Indonesia are facing are not always the same, Romania being confronted with a decrease in the birth rate and also with the aging of the population, there are still many fields in which cooperation between BKKBN and the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities of Romania can be envisaged, which could benefit both sides. That is why I use this opportunity to encourage a closer cooperation between the two institutions with exchange of visits or practices. And I think this meeting is a good opportunity to reveal possible practical areas of cooperation. I will start my short intervention with a few words about Romania for those who maybe are not very familiar with my country. Romania lies in the northern hemisphere in the southeastern Central Europe, at the junction with Eastern Europe and the Balkan Peninsula, and at the crossroads of important routes. Romania borders the Republic of Moldova in the northeast, Ukraine in the north, Hungary in the northwest, Serbia in the southwest, and Bulgaria in the south. According to the last census, which was done in 2022, the resident population in Romania is 19 million inhabitants, which is 1.1 million less than in 2011, when the previous census was done. Out of the total population, 51.5% are women and 52.2% live in urban areas. About the ethnic composition of Romanians, 89.3% are ethnic Romanians, 6% ethnic Hungarians, and 3.4% Roma or Gypsies. As well, now speaking about religion, 85.3% are Orthodox Christians, 4.5% Catholics, 3% Protestants, 3.5% Neo-Protestants, mostly Pentecostals, and only 0.4% Muslims. The aging process has intensified in the last 10 years. The share of the population aged 65 and above increased by 500,000, from 16.1% to 19.6%. With such demographic challenges, the government of Romania, through the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities, has among its tasks to promote demographic growth and to support families, especially those in need. In response to the proposed theme announced here, innovative means to increase the income of the families, I will present in summary 2 projects implemented at the level of the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities with a view to support young families and to increase birth rate. It's a bit technical, but I think it's of interest to the BKKBN. So the project, the first project, it is called the National Social Program to Support Couples and Single Individuals for Increasing Natality. It was implemented in 2022 and 2023, and 10,000 people benefited from this project with the allocation of $32 million last year. The social program was aimed for couples and infertile women aged between 20 and 45 years, women who have been diagnosed with a condition incompatible with natural reproduction by a specialist with competence in couples infertility treatment and in medically assisted human reproduction. The support consists of a non-taxable financial aid provided in the form of 2 paper vouchers totaling $3,200, of which 1 voucher of $1,100 is intended for the purchase of specific medication, and the second voucher of $2,100 was used for prescribed medical procedure. The program represents a highly important initiative in the context of the need for increasing natality in Romania. And the program has shown a considerable impact among the population. The success of the initiative is reflected not only in the high number of requests, but also in the first births recorded, highlighting the importance of this support for couples and single individuals facing infertility problems. And now the second project, which is called Family Start. Eligible categories of persons, individuals establishing a family or individuals already forming a family, of which at least one beneficiary meets the age criterion. The implementation period is 2023-2024. The number of beneficiaries is estimated to almost 1,700. It's a national project under implementation, and the budget allocated for this year it's $54 million. The Family Start program targets individuals between 18 and 45 years of age who are starting a family and have a net income per family member of up to $1,300, respectively up to $1,600 for single parent families. The maximum loan value is $32,000 and the loan duration is up to 10 years, including the grace period. The loan can be granted only once for the duration of up to 10 years with a grace period mutually agreed upon between the bank and the beneficiary of up to 5 years from the loan issuance date. The loan is guaranteed by the state in the proportion of 80%. The interest rate in this program is subsidized by 75% by the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities. The bank's analysis fee and the guarantee management fee are borne by the state through the budget of the ministry. Among the categories of eligible expenses are costs arising from events which lead to obtaining the status of husband and wife, such as religious marriage, civil marriage, or the ceremony on the occasion of the marriage, but no more than $4,300. Payment requests are made within a maximum of 90 days from the event date. Payment of hospitalization expenses in case of childbirth. Expenses for nursery, kindergarten, school, or after-school program, as well as for participation or acquisition of materials necessary within extracurricular activities in which the beneficiary's children participate or are enrolled. Purchase of new cars or used cars with a maximum age of 5 years at the time of application, as well as the purchase of cars adapted for people with disabilities. Expenses related to tuition fees, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, including courses for qualification or professional improvement, professional conversion or reconversion, as well as expenses related to specialized books and supplies, including published in formats accessible to people with disabilities. Rent payment, up to a maximum of $320 per month. Part or down payments for the purchase or construction cost of a dwelling, including the cost of design and execution, expenses related to construction, modernization or renovation of the dwelling, works to increase energy efficiency or for the installation of equipment for the production of electricity or cogeneration from renewable sources through individual projects or through specific governmental programs, as well as expenses related to the purchase of furniture. Partial or total early payment of a previously contracted mortgage loan, including through governmental programs. So more or less, these are the two programs. It can be shared with your institution if they are of interest. I would thank you now for your attention for my presentation. And of course, myself or my colleagues from the Ministry of Youth, Equal Opportunities and Family can answer future questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, His Excellency Dan Adrian Balesineshu. So I can see the interesting program is Family Start, I guess. So because this is the individual like loan, right? For the family establishing their life, right? And then what is amazing for me is that the loan subsidized 75% by the ministry, right? So 80% from the government, right? Is it for the loan from the bank? Subsidized. Oh my God, 75% subsidized by the government. Can you imagine everyone here? So it's, oh, the interest rate. Okay, so means that the family doesn't need to pay the very high rate because the rate is paid by the government, 75%. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so the next session, we will invite the Honorable Miss Alexandra Dobre, so we can listen and then and then know more about the family planning in Romania, because Miss Alexandra Dobre is the Director General of Ministry of Family, Youth, and Equal Opportunities of Romania. But before she presents her presentation this afternoon, so I would like to read her biography here. So Miss Elena Alexandra Dobre, she is Ministry General Manager, Ministry of Family, Youth, Equal Opportunities since 2020 until now. And then she's responsible for complying with the provisions, rules, standards, general procedures established and approved by the MFTES management within the internal management control design and implemented by MFTES within the structure lead. And also she is a DPO accredited trainer for the Institute for Active Aging Association from 2021 until now. And she's also president for Institute for Active Aging Association from 2020 until now, and based in Bucharest, Romania. And also so many things I can't read because so many position that she's having now. So I think it's time to welcome Miss Alexandra Dobre. So I think the time is yours.
Hello, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honor for me to participate in this event for this occasion. Unfortunately, I am online. I wish I was there with all of you, but maybe for the next conference. As I said, I'm truly honored to participate today, and I also want to thank you and to tell you that I am extremely happy with your efforts, with the efforts that you are making to support the families and also the demographic growth of your country's population. I also want to say that I didn't know that we have the opportunity to have a PowerPoint presentation. I think it would have been more interesting, but I also hope that I will be able to get your attention. First of all, I will ask you kindly to allow me to let's say, read some statistics and give you some numbers about the actual demographic situation in Romania. I'm, as you said, and thank you very much for the presentation, I'm also the president of the Romanian National Institute for Active Aging. And I want to tell you that our population in Romania is aging with 15-20% every year. This is an alarming situation for us, and that's why we are trying to put all our efforts in order to increase natality and to sustain projects for families, young families and families in general. The preliminary information that we have since 2021 presents a rather bleak perspective on the country's future. Over the past decade, Romania has recorded a decline of over 1 million inhabitants. Facing an aging population process, as I said before, decreasing birth rates and persistent external migration, Romania is confronted with a pessimistic scenario. Additionally, the increasingly common fertility issues among Romanian couples contribute to the demographic gap and also the decrease in birth rates. Regarding infertility problems, the year 2021 recorded the lowest birth rate since 1930 in Romania. From the infertility study initiated by the Romanian Human Reproduction Association, the following aspects emerged. In 2021, Romania had the fewest children born alive since 1930, and the negative population growth doubled in the last 3 years. 70% of the studied fertile population was or is in a situation of infertility. The number of those seeking an infertility specialist is increasing. The percentage is 46%, but still small compared to those who go to a specialist. 23% of the current pregnancies were achieved with the help of specialist treatments, meaning approximately 8,400 active pregnancies with treatment, compared to an average of 18% over the last 5 years. In 1960, Romanian women gave birth to an average of 2.3 children, but today, according to World Bank data, this number has dropped to 1.6. This decline in fertility is not unique to Romania. It is a trend seen across most countries and most European countries. The declining trend in birth rate has been a consistent pattern in Romania in recent years, with each passing year setting new negative records, raising concerns about the long-term sustainability of public finances. Several factors contribute to this decline: economic instability, limited access to quality health care sometimes, and maybe a lack of comprehensive family support policies at that time. And all these have played an important role in maybe discouraging couples from having children. Additionally, changing societal norms and career-oriented lifestyles have influenced family planning decisions, leading to delayed or fewer pregnancies. Addressing the challenges related to declining birth rates requires a comprehensive approach involving not only government policies, but also social and cultural changes. This entails a comprehensive strategy that encompasses economic stability, access to healthcare, supportive work environments, and a change in societal attitudes towards family planning. While progress is being made, the issue of low birth rates in Romania continues to be a topic of discussion and also a priority for policymakers seeking to ensure a sustainable demographic future for the country. In this regard, social and family policies are necessary to boost birth rates and promote larger families, providing financial support and facilities for young families to better balance family and career responsibilities. To address these challenges, Romania should develop and is starting to develop coherent and integrated strategies targeting the promotion of innovation, education, balanced regional development, stimulation of birth rates, and also attraction of investment. And this role is fulfilled by the activity coordinated by our minister, and its involvement is also for all the institutional stakeholders and also civil society that is also essentially. This national program for supporting couples and single individuals for birth rate increase was the primary intervention of Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunities, and is aimed at couples and infertile women aged between 20 and 45. As His Excellency Mr. Ambassador said, these women have to be women that were diagnosed with a condition incompatible with natural reproduction by a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology and competent in couple infertility treatment and human reproduction, assisted medically, of course. The support consists of non-taxable financial aid provided in the form of 2 paper vouchers totaling almost 3,000 euros. One voucher is 1,000 euros and it is allocated for the purchase of specific medications, while the second voucher, it consists of 2,000 euros and is covering prescribed medical procedures. We have had this financial support since 2022 for the families in Romania, and now we reached 10,000 beneficiaries of the program, but the request was double. So for last year, for example, we had over 20,000 requests, and we had only 10,000 spots for the project. That is proof that the project is working very well for Romania and this national program, and also that the request is very, very high. If you allow me, I will just use a few more minutes to say that, of course, that we have the national program for fertilization that I mentioned before. We also had, and we are having the Family Start project that His Excellency Mr. Ambassador presented, but we also had in the last year some initiatives. We have initiated national programs for granting a sum of money for young mothers aged between 20 and 30 years, respectively 2,000 euros per each person. We also wanted to help mothers that gave birth, giving them 500 euros per person in order to achieve what's necessary for a newborn. And we also wanted to give vouchers worth 300 or 500 euros for each child who comes from a vulnerable family in order to be able to pay for daycare, childcare, and also after school, because here in Romania we have another big problem when we are talking about education of children, because we don't have enough spots in the childcare system or in the daycare system that is supported by the state. So for the people that are not succeeding in obtaining a spot for their children that is covered by the state, the cost is covered by the state, the family has to pay for private childcare or daycare facility, and it is very difficult for a young family to support, in this case, the education of a children. You have to pay like 400 or maybe 500 euros per child. And in most of these cases, it is almost impossible. That's why we wanted to help these families in order to have the proper education and on-time education for their children. We hope that this year we will be able to implement these projects if we will have the financial input from the government. And we also had an initiative that could be also maybe taken by you if you consider. It was about the large families who have at least 3 children. We wanted to give them, all of them. In Romania, there are over 2,500 families, large families. We wanted to give them all a discount card. So it is a card that contains discounts at all kinds of things like medicine, like clothes, like food, or maybe toys, or different kinds of courses that maybe teenagers need or children need for extra school activities. And they can use this card also for cultural activities. They can have discounts at museums or I don't know, concerts, opera, and so on. And this is a very well implemented project in Europe, and we want to implement it too here in Romania, because it is very, very useful for, especially for large families that have maybe not maybe, for sure, they have more expenses that regular family with 1 child or two children. When you have 3 or more children, it is very difficult to sustain all the financial the financial situation of the family. I don't want to, I don't know if I have time left. If not, I want to thank you very much again for the invitation and for having me today with you. It is, again, I'm saying it is, I'm truly honored. And if I have more time and you have questions, I am here at your disposal to respond any question that you may have regarding our activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the Honorable Ms. Alexandra Dobre. So I'm enjoying your presentation related to Romanian programs. So it's quite opposite to Indonesian situation where we try to decrease the fertility rate, but in Romania you try to increase the fertility rate. So from 1.6 at the moment. So by providing so many programs. So when I'm listening to your program, in my mind, I think, oh, maybe it's good to move to Romanian then. Because then everything is provided, like medication, medical procedure, even if you are going to giving birth, right? And then the government still provide the health service. So provide 500 euro at least, and also for daycare. So the family the family don't really need to be worried about having kids, because the government provide support for daycare, and then even for many children, like more than 3 children, like 2,500 euro per month, discount cards for medicine, foods, toys, etc. So I think it's very insightful for us, your presentation. So thank you, the Honorable Ms. Alexandra. So now it's time for us to move on to the next presentation. I have to invite His Excellency Bapak Mediatama Suryo Diningrat, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Romania. He is residing in Bucharest, to give views and suggestions on potential future collaboration between Indonesia and Romania in the field of family development, population, and family planning. So we have Bapak Mediatama online there at Bucharest. So how are you, Pak?
Selamat siang, I am very well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So what time is it now there?
It's just before noon, and it's a very good weather in Bucharest. So I must thank Madam Alexandra for the wonderful weather in Bucharest today.
Okay. So here in Jakarta, it's 4:49, and the weather outside is very gloomy and rainy for the day. So lucky you in Bucharest. So please, Pak, Bapak, the Honorable Bapak Mediatama Suryo Diningrat, to give the presentation. The time is yours. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you. First of all, good afternoon, Bu Naziwa. Selamat siang, selamat sore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Good health to all of you who are in Jakarta and in Bucharest. It is truly a great honor for me to be able to give a brief talk, so to speak, about today's subject. First of all, I would like to greet my colleagues, both at the National Population and Family Planning Board. I think it is represented here by Dr. Dwi Listia Wardani. And obviously my warmest greetings to Madam Alexandra Dobre, Director General for Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunity of Romania. My warmest greetings to my colleague, His Excellency Ambassador of Romania, Mr. Dan Adrian Balanescu, and of course the other members who are attending today's talk. I must apologize beforehand because this is actually a topic in which I have very little knowledge about. And secondly, I must also apologize because talking about Romania, it is another subject in which I am probably the least knowledgeable among all the speakers, having only been in Romania for the past 5 months. But given my very brief experience, the one thing that I can tell you that I am extremely amazed and extremely jealous of the wonderful programs in which the Romanian government has implemented in trying to boost issues regarding to family planning, family income, and so on. I think many in Indonesia, as the moderator has said, will be quite envious of the various programs that are in place in Romania. I will not go through them one by one, or even the Indonesian programs, because there are more better knowledgeable experts speaking today. However, I think my position is, as someone who resides between these two countries, is that to give a certain context. And this context is very important, because while programs are wonderful and good in one country, they may not necessarily be wholly applicable in the other. And I think the task of trying to find a cooperation between the Ministry of Family, Youth and Equal Opportunity and BKKBN in this case is trying to pick and choose which programs are applicable and suitable and complementary towards each other. And I think the context here is very important. And I do apologize if I am repeating the obvious facts and obvious conditions which have already been stated by the previous speakers. I just have a few brief, very short statistics. So please, can you show them up? I hope everyone can see. Okay. Well, I think the main issue and the main crux of these is regarding the population of the two countries. And while programs are very good and very interesting in that respect, the issue is that Indonesia is a country which is about, I think, 14 times the size of the population. So in Indonesia, the population population growth has continued to be steady and continue to grow, while Romania, in essence, is at a net deficit. Next slide, please. And you can see the challenges of Romania expressed by our two Romanian colleagues in how they have had to overcome this population deficit. So next slide, please. So as I said again, the population, the difference is about 14 times. And given the current growth rate and the current trend,
Excuse me, Pak, so we can't see your slide, sorry. We can't see your slide because it's still stuck there. So the first page, would you please slide show more? Right. Yes, please.
Just hang on for 30 seconds. Aduh, nggak kelihatan ya?
Not yet, Pak.
Okay. One minute.
Okay, and kelihatan, but maybe we can have the slide show mode. Click. Oh, manual. Okay, manual, that's fine. Now we are at the second slide about Indonesia. Okay, please, His Excellency Pak Media Tama.
Okay, apologies for that. We are still learning how to use PowerPoint on Zoom. So once again, I'll repeat myself. I think the issue relating to Indonesia and Romania is about picking and choosing the complementary programs, because the main challenge is, again, really about population. Indonesia's population has continued to grow at a steady average. We do not have a population deficit. In fact, we are hopefully going to reap the results of a population demographic dividend. Comparatively, if you look at Romania, next slide, please. You see a continued decline, and that is the challenge in which the Romanian people and the Romanian government and as a nation is facing at the present juncture. So if you look at all the programs, next slide, please. Yeah. If you look at all the programs, and this is just a personal opinion, I think Romania in many aspects is required to do an extra effort in terms of these additional programs to arrest these declines. So again, it is always important to look at what the motivation, and while we are, of course, trying to improve population prosperity, the health of mothers and children and so on, additional programs are being done in Romania because you have this sort of population decline. Indonesia has some very interesting programs. Next slide, please. And I think one of the main ones that is interesting to look at is the business group activities to increase family income. It has been a very interesting program showing good signs of progress and so on. And I think that is one of the things that perhaps our colleagues in Romania can also look at, and they themselves probably have similar programs in which may be able to learn from this. Now, on the Romanian side, next slide, please, is, again, we as Indonesians, when we come to Romania and learn about Romania, are constantly amazed at the kind of support that families, young families have when they are starting a family. I have friends, I have colleagues at the embassy whose wives have been able to take a 2-year break and still be guaranteed a very healthy degree of personal income. That is an amazing program if we can develop it and sustain it. Those are programs which you can look at, but it is also a big question mark whether those programs are sustainable in a country like Indonesia with the kind of population such as Indonesia. But again, these are something that can look at. The next slide, please. Here again is, I think the point for me of this afternoon is for both institutions is to try and find ways and means to start to build a bridge, to find forms of cooperation, whether it's just a discussion between experts, whether it is capacity building or information sharing and best practices. Yes, that's the end of the slide. Thank you. Again, I think for us Indonesians, there is so much to learn from Romania. However, we must put everything into context because of the relative size of the populations of the two countries. If I was a CEO, in which I was in a previous life before becoming an ambassador, for me, it would be very, very difficult to have female or male employees having a 2-year break or a 2-year vacation as mandated by law. Is that possible to be applicable in Indonesia? Maybe not to that same extent or length. Is it possible for the state to continue to emulate the kind of support of vouchers and funds that the Romanian government is giving at the present? Perhaps, but not at the same scale. So I think it is not about the actual programs, but the actual ways and means which can be applied in the individual countries. Again, I apologize for my very ignorance and a relative misunderstanding of these programs, but I hope that my contribution can give at least some context towards joint cooperation in these two fields. And also, I would like to extend the support of our embassy, and I'm sure Ambassador Balanescu will do the same if there are engagements between the two institutions. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, His Excellency Bapak Media Tama Suryodiningrat. So I'm surprised that our population is 14 times from Romanian population, which is Romanian population is only about 19.8 million. Yeah, and decreasing also until the fertility rate this year only 1.6. Meanwhile, we are still at the 2.18. I think it's not going, Pak, inshallah, yeah, but steadily. All right, so from Pak Ambassador presentation, I can highlight three important or three suggestion cooperation. The first one, expert exchange or joint studies, and then capacity building and also sharing information. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so coming to the discussion session, question and answers. So at this opportunity, no direct communication, questions through Slido form and selected, but the question will be selected by the committee and will be published on the screen. So please, the committee for the question. Okay, so we have quite a lot of questions here, but the first question coming from Professor Rizal Damanik. So good afternoon, Professor Rizal. So I'm happy you are attending this session. To His Excellency Ambassador or Miss Alexandra, does the government of Romania implement programs related to population or reproductive health issues? When and to whom the program is given? And the second question, so probably we can see the question first, read the question. And the second question from Eko Angga Suparno, Bapak Eko Angga Suparno from Yogyakarta. The first question goes to His Excellency Ambassador. I think it's His Excellency Mr. Dan Adrian. What innovative policies or programs in Romania have succeeded in increasing family income and can be adopted by other countries? Maybe lesson learned from Romania. And then, how are the government and private sector in Romania working together in working together to encourage innovation to address the problem of income inequality among families? Is there a problem in Romania, income inequality? But probably His Excellency Ambassador will explain more about that. And the last question, okay, maybe two questions first, or should I read? Oh, maybe two questions from two people first, and then we can move on. And then the last question here, are there any obstacles or challenges that Romania faces in implementing innovation to strengthen family incomes? And how are they overcoming these obstacles? I think that's enough for this session, and then we will continue after His Excellency Ambassador answer the question. So please.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the questions. Most of these questions are quite technical, and they pertain to the Ministry of Family and Youth and Equal Opportunities. So after my answer, I'm sure my colleagues from the ministry will continue. There were some questions, many questions. I can give a general answer to them because they focused on the government programs for increasing family. They were about the cooperation with the private sector. And as I mentioned in my intervention, for example, this Family Start program practically involved the cooperation between the government and the private sector, which were the banks, because the banks were extending the loans to families which respect the conditions, including in the government programs, and also the government through this ministry subsidize the interest rate and the warranty for the credit. So this is really a successful example about the cooperation between the government and private sector to help families to increase income. And as the results are showing, although it's still an ongoing program, but the results seem quite good, and the program seems to be a success and is continuing this year. Maybe for the challenges, of course, it would be good to have bigger amounts of money dedicated to the program, but so far it's a limited number of participants, although the requests are even more numerous. So in the future, I'm sure that the government will come with other programs depending on the amounts dedicated to the support of the families. So thank you, and if my colleagues from the ministry have something to add, please. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Ambassador for Romania. Maybe Ms. Alexandra will add something or explain more. So please welcome Ms. Alexandra.
Yes, hello again. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that regarding the cooperation with the private sector, we are trying, when we are implementing national programs, we are trying to have everybody at the table, meaning government institutions, meaning the private sector, NGOs, and so on. And for example, if we think about, as His Excellency Mr. Ambassador said, the Family Star project, but also the discount card that we want to give for the large families, there we have almost, let's say, I don't know, 80% private companies that are giving these discounts for large families. Of course, that we also have public institutions like museums or the opera or the theaters that are in the Ministry of Culture's yard, let's say like this, that are giving these kind of discounts for the large families. But most of the institutions that are giving discounts are private institutions, private companies, large supermarket supermarkets or very large companies that are very known all over the world and have headquarters here in Romania. And agreed to have a partnership for developing this project and helping large families. We hope that we will be able to have the financial resources to actually implement this project very soon. We had the government decision that is now at other ministries because here the procedure is that when a minister have a project that wants to implement it, first of all has to pass from one minister to the other in order to have observations or any other suggestions, and then the final paper has to go to the Prime Minister in the government's official public session and to be voted. But now we are, let's say, in the first steps, because last year we didn't, the government didn't have enough money to sustain all these kind of national programs, and some of them we are trying to start from the beginning with the procedure this year. And I also, I saw, if you allow me, the connection is not very, very good, but I think I saw a question about, I heard a question about a national strategy for seniors or for active aging or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. As I said, the connection wasn't at 100% all the time, and I don't know if I heard well.
It's not about senior, Ms. Alexandra, but it's about the program related to population or reproductive health issues. Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes,
so
but what?
Yeah. The question is that, does the government of Romania implement programs related to population or reproductive health issues? If it is so, when and to whom the program is given?
Yes, one of these projects is actually the national project for FIV, fertilization in vitro, is for helping families that have medical issues to have children. As I said, we are giving almost 3,000 euros per family in order to start these procedures. And also we are starting this year, next month actually, we are starting a national campaign for raising awareness between in the population regarding the fertility problems, because in Romania 1 out of 5 couples are facing with this medical problem, that is infertility. And I think, and we think, that we have to go from one county to another, from one city to another, in order to raise awareness between people, in order to know more about these infertility problems. Because sometimes people say that maybe is not the time is not yet here in order to have children. Maybe we don't have a medical problem. Maybe it's just that it's not the time, the proper time. But in most of the cases, they have medical issues and they don't know about these problems, or they don't know that might exist, especially in the rural areas, where we don't have the same access to information, the same access to technology, and the information doesn't go to the public regarding this subject. That's why we want to go there in the field with doctors, with specialists that can explain in medical terms what's happening with these fertility problems or infertility issues.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Alexandra, for the answer. So should we move on to the next question then? So the next question is coming from Ibu Nursida to His Excellency Mr. Ambassador. What is the Romanian government's stance on involving community health workers or cadres in family planning program? And then to Ms. Alexandra again, what is the strategy to reduce children stunting in Romania? Is there any stunting case in Romania? No? I'm not sure about that. Yeah, and how to treat stunting malnutrition? Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. I will try to shortly answer the question, and then I will let my colleague in Romania, Mrs. Director General, maybe she has something to add about these community health workers. Generally in Romania, we have the institution of the family doctor. So each citizen of Romania should register to a family doctor, and which is of course all over Romania. And practically the family doctor follows the development of each person, helps with birth control, for example, programs, also sends the person to the specialist if the issue is more complicated. It's a very, very important role of these doctors. And every person, before going to the specialist, he must consult the doctor of the family on his or her health issues. So thank you very much.
Okay, and then so there is no cadres but family doctor, right? Okay, and then to Ms. Alexandra, there are 2 questions here. The first, how to reduce children stunting in Romania and how to treat stunting malnutrition. And the second one, is there any best practice or program to empower elderly people in Romania? Yeah, you're right. So this is the question that you're asking. Okay, so please, Ms. Alexandra.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, I will try to answer the first one, how to reducing children stunting in Romania and how to treat stunting, malnutrition. I also heard your question if there are any cases of children stunting. Unfortunately, there are. Of course, that is not an alarming situation, but we also have children stunting cases in Romania. Unfortunately, this is happening all over the country, in different counties of the country. Again, I'm repeating myself, it's not alarming, the situation, but there are a few hundred of cases all over the country. And the government is trying to have some is trying to help the children that are facing this situation, but mostly by giving enough financial resources to the local authorities, because it is primary their mission of the local authority in the city or in the county there to help these families or these children, and I know that they have a lot of projects, especially in the social institutions that the municipality there have. And they have an evidence database of these children, and they go there each month, once or twice per month, and they give them basic elements, basic food, and also other kind of help, like clothes or medicine for these children. And also we have in Romania a lot of NGOs, like hundreds of NGOs that are helping children. And one of the biggest, let's say like this, is an international one, is UNICEF, that is it has its headquarters also in Romania, and with the support of the local administration, they are going from one village to another, from one case to another every month, in order to help these children and to provide them food. The second question, I cannot see it anymore on the desktop, but I think it was regarding empowering seniors,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. The first step for empowering citizens was made a few years ago when we had our first national strategy for active aging. It was, and it still is, it is developed by the social the work ministry in Romania, or social and work ministry in Romania. It is a permanent partner of the family minister, because we have a lot of common projects and programs. And in this strategy, it was and it still is a measure plan, a plan with a lot of measures, a lot of objectives to implement. And one of these objectives in the strategy was about having conferences where they can be invited and can, let's say their point of view about a lot of subjects that are concerning them. And also we are trying, again, mostly NGOs, but also with the support of the state, to have national programs for the elderly, like, for example, a program that is trying to educate the elderly in order to recognize the cybernetic attacks, like security lags, in order to not be, let's say, sometimes the people take advantage of the elderly, and mostly they try to steal their data, personal data. They try to steal their maybe account number or money directly. And we are trying to help them recognize these kinds of attacks, cybernetic attacks, AI attacks. I don't know. Let's name it like this. And first of all, how to recognize these attacks, and then where to go to tell the authorities about this. We are also trying to have financial education for the elderly in order to help them have a more comfortable life when they are at their pension, in their second part of their lives. The pensions are now higher than they were in the last years, so we have a little bit of an improved situation regarding this subject. Of course, that there are a lot of things to do yet, but I think that the first steps are already done in this field of empowering citizens, and mostly empowering the elderly.
Okay, thank you. I think that's quite important, right? To protect our elderly from cyber issue like phishing, something like that, like taking money from the
Exactly.
bank account.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
from internet banking, etc. So, and then Romanian government has provided the conference or seminar for the elders. So thank you, Ms. Alexandra, for the information. So now we are moving on to the next question from Ibu Najla Azarin. So she has two questions for Ibu Dani. The first question, what is the BKKBN strategy to increase public literacy in managing nutrition and healthy lifestyles? And the second one, how BKKBN collaborates with stakeholders in creating a capable health facility ecosystems for the community. And the next question, the next two questions is for Pak Uki. The first question is from Pak Slamet, Muhammad Slamet Yahya from Jateng. What is BKKBN strategy in dealing with demographic change and urbanization to achieve sustainable population goals? The second one, what are the standards used as a measure of success and evaluation of the UPPKA program to increase family income? So Pak Slamet is asking about the measure standard. Okay, please Ibu Dia. Ibu Dani. Maaf, please Ibu Dani.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. BKKBN since in the beginning to provide, the communication, education, and information strategic program. We implement this program also for the not only for the family planning program, but also for the stunting, how to reduce stunting in Indonesia, as this become one of the mandate to BKKBN from the president. And we are using a wide range of media actually to provide information about regarding the health program as well. And the media, including also the social media. Yeah, we're also developing kind of special web application or website. This is formulated especially for the calon pengantin or the future wedding couples, yeah, to prepare and also to educate them. We provide 10 aspects of preparation in this website, so we can actually assessing making a kind of self-assessment to define if we are ready to get married, so we can evaluate ourselves. There is a kind of quantitative evaluation actually, yeah, by using the website. It's very, very, very kind and very good website. And also we provide and we form a kind of tim pendamping keluarga or family escort team in every village. We have already 300,000 teams, yeah, around 200 or 300,000 teams and they provide education also, giving them information about the healthy lifestyle, about nutrition, and facilitate the specific, we call it as family risk, yeah, family at risk of stunting. What is family at risk of stunting? We have kind of some of variables, including those or family who have babies and children under 2 years, and also if they don't practice family planning, they also include in the risk, because by not using any contraception, it means that anytime the mother can get pregnant. Yeah, so we educate the mother if they are ready or not to become pregnant by measuring certain kind of indicators, such as the HB level in their blood, and also we call it as the body mass index included. Yeah, so this is a very basic practice actually, and very easy to practice in the field. And also the course of the family escort team also escorting the referral services, if maybe some of the mothers need some extra or fun services. Of course, we also support what we call as the perilaku hidup bersih dan sehat, or promoting healthy and hygienic lifestyle in the community. And for the second question, it's about the how to starting with the perilaku itself, the lifestyle. Yeah, we have kind of actually kampung keluarga berkualitas, or what we call in English, kampung keluarga quality family village. This kind of integrated program for many ministries and bodies, yeah, including not only for the health program, but also for the social program, education program. So we are trying how to empower a family so they can empower themselves, and also they can solve whatever problem they face. Yeah. So we already have more than 50,000 kampung KB in Indonesia. 50,000. Our target is every village in Indonesia can formulate this kind of kampung KB, because this is kind of integrated program for many ministries and bodies. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Dani. And now Pak Ukik.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Slamet Yahya from the Central Java Province. Thank you for the very good question. You have two questions posted to me, actually. Firstly, how BKKBN deals with the demographic changes and also to anticipate the urbanization. And the second question related with the UPPKA program, income generating activity groups. What would be the standard of success of this activity to increase family income? With your permission, Madam Moderator, and also Ibu Dani, Mr. Ambassador, please let us to respond to these questions. So yes, Mr. Yahya, regarding demographic transition, yes, alongside with the fertility transition, so we used to have the so-called the high fertility, but also have high mortality. And as time goes by, and then we have the declining trend of those both fertility level as well as mortality level. Yes, this is also due to the success of family planning program and also health management system in Indonesia, of course. And then now, currently we have this kind of the population pyramid shape, which is we have the managing number of children ever born due to the family planning success, as well as youth bulge. Youth bulge, we have the significant proportion of young populations. Then, according to those stated in the demographic dividends, this require several prerequisites, yes. And the government of Indonesia is still on track, yeah, to anticipate these demographic dividends. For example, for those youth bulge, then the government should provide the equal and also proper working opportunities. And for those children at school age years, then we should provide the proper education and also to provide these children with the life skill education. And even so, of the vocational education. So then those children who become the adults and entering the workforce, they become ready, yeah, to have the productive age period appropriately to harnessing these demographic dividends. That's actually some of these effort of the government to anticipate the demographic changes. And of course, still, we need also to implement the family planning program and also population management and family development in the right way. Yes, we right now in our government try to maintain this relatively low fertility level, 2.1 children per woman. Yes, we keep maintaining this. I mean, to avoid, the experience from other countries, for example, the decreasing population. So we need to maintain to keep constant the fertility level at TFR 2.1 children per woman. And then regarding urbanization, this is also a very interesting point, yes, and also issues. As we all aware that the urbanization consists of two parameters or two phenomena. The first phenomenon is actually the moving people from village to urban areas, from rural to urban. But secondly, actually those people staying in the same place, but this place is transferring from previously rural area and to become modernized, to become urban areas. So this is also includes all those changes or consequences. So then, basically, the government of Indonesia tries to provide or to develop new economic center. That's also then become imperative or important for the local government to invite foreign investment, Mr. Ambassador. Yes, for example, a small town, for example, in East Java or Central Java, they will gladly welcome the foreign investment, the collaboration with the private sector to increase or to develop, to boost the new economic center and the new manufacture, the new industries in the local areas. Then it's prevent people to move from rural to urban areas, to prevent urbanization, to start develop and promoting and increasing new economic center. This is the example of how then the government, both central and also local government, try to anticipate the effect of urbanization. That's why, Excellency Mr. Ambassador, in this May, 12 to 16 May 2024, BKKBN, in collaboration with the Indonesian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ibu Dian Hafid, And also with your permission, Mr. Ambassador Media Tama, we will collaborate to conduct a so-called ambassador visiting Kampung KB, or ambassador visiting Quality Family Village. This time located in Banyuwangi. Banyuwangi is one of the district in East Java province. Why? Then through this activity, the ambassadors and also international organization, we will invite them to visit this area in Banyuwangi and see how then we can have the collaboration or building new networking with those local government, especially in Banyuwangi. This is also one of the example how to anticipate the issue on urbanization. For the second question, Mr. Slamet Yahya from Central Java Province, what is the standard of the success of UPPKA in increasing family income? UPPKA is family income generation activity. Yes, so the keyword is actually beyond family planning. As Ibu Dani, Madam Dani, and Dr. Hastowardoyo always taught us related with this beyond family planning. So actually, Indonesia already been successful in decreasing the fertility level of each family. 2.1 TFR, meaning each family only have 2 children already. Then, what should be done with these families? Yes, this family, perhaps some of them still underprivileged, some of them still are already better off, and so on. Then how then to maintain or to increase their economic situation? And then the government come up with idea to increase their family income. After this family only have 2 children, already limit their number of the children. And then the economic thing is to be one more thing that we need to improve. For each 10 household or 10 families at village or perhaps in area in the urban or slum areas and so on, they can get together with the support or facilitation of the family planning field worker. After that, they can form or establish one small entrepreneur or what we call it, microeconomic group, yes, so-called income generating activity groups. BKKBN only support to establish these groups. Yes, after this, the group itself will decide themselves what would be the kind of the business or microeconomic activities they need to bring about. For example, they need to have in Indonesian language gorengan, for example, the frying snacks, for example, the simple things. But it's enough to improve their family income for each family. Yes, and after this BKKBN can facilitate or can be, what we call it, Udani, to help this group to meet with the bank, yeah, to have the allowance, the loans and also the capitals. And then they can have the MOU or agreement between this group and also the bank, or especially, of course, with the small interest, yes, because it is the social activities. After then, they can run this business, yes. And then the group activity will be rolling over, bergulir gitu. So we will be more and more group will be established. And then finally, the government will measure. As last night we have the meeting between the leader of BKKBN. Also called, we discussed about the index of family with the entrepreneurship activity. We already stepped up the targets also with the Bappenas and BKKBN, and also we have the data. And the data is compromising actually. So not only the index itself, but then also we have the declining poverty rates and also the families living in the under poverty lines, yeah, amidst in the situation in the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Uki. So I think we still have time. The committee will allow us to have one more question from the audience. So probably we will allow who will speak directly from the Zoom. probably. Okay, so we have Ibu Ayu Arini from East Java. So please, please give us the questions.
Thank you, the moderators, for the time. Is it clear my voice here? I'm so sorry, I'm low on the train. But I have two questions. Is it clear? Yeah.
40%. It's not really clear. So only 40%. We can hear you.
Wait.
Yeah. Yes, please. Ibu Ayu? Ibu Ayu? Are you still there?
How about now?
Yes, please. It's more clear now. Clearer
Okay.
now.
Thank you for the opportunity for this great discussion. I follow and I enjoy it since the first beginning of the discussion. I have two questions for His Excellency or Her Excellency, Madam Alexandra, about the family formation. Since I didn't hear the discussion about the family formations. I mean that we recently or nowadays have the issue about the dynamicity or the family transition that happen all over the world, especially for the issue of cohabitation. I'm very understand that in Indonesia, this practice or this phenomenon is still illegal. I mean that in Indonesia, a family is defined by the legal marriage, but I don't know. This is kind of like better safe than sorry questions. Maybe I'd like to hear from the Romania about the journey, the government journey in tackling this family formation, family transition. Maybe from decades ago, the Romania also experienced a very slight number of cohabitation inside the population, and as the time goes, maybe the number increase, and I'm very sure that this applies to the government policy or government or social changing or so on. Since in Indonesia, the programs or the help provide, the support provide for the family provided by the government is defined from the family which is started by legal marriage. And how is the Romanian government tackling this problem, since in the beginning we have no issue with the cohabitation, and by the end of the day, I mean this is happen in Europe there. This is, I don't know what the future brings in Indonesia, but maybe we can prepare by this changing of family formation. And for the second question, maybe this is kind of a chill question, because I'm wondering with the nomenclature of the of your institution stands for the Ministry of Family and Youth and Equal Opportunity. That's really very, very intriguing. I would like to know how the philosophy behind the government of the Romania decide to establish this specific or special governmentation, or I mean bodies, because in Indonesia we have the BKKBN here for tackling all the problems about the family, and we have our own family appeal and so on. And yeah, that's all. Please tell us the story behind that. Last question is to Mr. Uki. Then the previous question is asking about the evaluation or measurement to evaluate or to monitor the UPPKA program. My question goes to how effective, or is there any data or proof how effective the UPPKA increasing the income of our family, the family of Indonesia, or reducing the poverty, since the highlighting difference from the programs that given by government is like cash or cards or so on. But in our country, we try to our family to become families independence and families engagement. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ayu. So two questions go to Miss Alexandra, and one question to Pak Uki. To Pak Uki about how we can measure, maybe, yeah. something like that, the effective UPPKA. And then Ms. Alexandra, there are two questions about family formation. And then the second one about the philosophy behind the Ministry of Family, Youth, and Equal Opportunities, probably. Yeah. Yes, please, Ms. Alexandra.
Thank you very much for your questions. Actually, I will start with the second one. Of course, that maybe we will have to ask the Prime Minister. But until then, I will try to answer myself. It was just a joke. Okay, so the idea behind the ministry, there were a lot of ideas behind forming this ministry. The first one and the most powerful, I think, was about the fact that Romania is one of the single states in Europe that doesn't have a ministry for family. In Europe, all over Europe, most countries, like 80% of the countries of Europe, have a ministry for family, and it is very important in the governmental picture, this ministry of family. And I think that it was time for Romania also to have this kind of institution, governmental institution, ministry that is only for these aspects of this problematic of family. And not only, we have also youth and equal opportunities, and I will talk about this too soon. But I think it is a very important step ahead for Romania having a ministry for family, and this is in the context of the fact that we were almost the only country in Europe that didn't have this ministry. Equal opportunities. Romania had in the last years had an agency, a national agency for equal opportunities. It was under it was under the Secretary General of the government, but I think it was the thought was that it's more applicable this domain to be in the field of competence of the Ministry of Family. It is still a national agency for equal opportunities, but it is subordinated to the Ministry of Family. So we have Ministry of Family, Youth, and Equal Opportunities, and under the ministry, subordinated to the ministry, it is the National Agency for Equal Opportunities, and we also have a National Agency for Adoption and Childcare that is also subordinated to the ministry. And the youth problematic, I think it is very well integrated in our ministry, because family means children, means youth, means also the elderly, but unfortunately the elderly are not yet at the Ministry of Family. They are at the Ministry of Labor and Work, Labor and Social problems. But the youth part was, until the ministry was founded, was only a direction inside the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and now we have a national agency for sports, and the youth domain came to be a part of our domain of competence at the Ministry of Family. So that this is how, as far as I know, this was the idea behind founding the Ministry of Family, Youth, and Equal Opportunities. Regarding the first question, I don't know if I got it well. The question, it was about family formation, and the process maybe through which people transition between family statuses with marital status, maybe. I don't know if this was the I want to see if I understand correctly. I hope that I am able to answer your question. from my point of view, and also from the data that we have in Romania, here in Romania, the concept of family, it is very strongly influenced by the social and demographic policies developed before. And after the communist era, and aimed to ensure the highest possible number of followers, we had 3 stages of cultural and societal conditions that have, let's say, shaped how the population has come to view or symbolize family. The first stage was around 1945. Up to that point, Romania was profoundly rural. And as such, family was a traditional construct that represented a marriage between a man and a woman and a large number of children. That this situation was in 1945. This time period was perturbed by 2 world wars, as you know, but saw no significant changes to the social demographic context in that period of time. We also had a second stage that corresponded to the communist regime between 1945 and 1990, when family was considered the vital cell of the society. Of course, that it is still considered today the vital cell of the society, but nowadays we have, let's say, a third stage that started in 1989. And we went through a lot of challenges and changes regarding family formation, and nowadays we have also structures as celibacy, single parents, and of course that as everybody else and as the world, we have also a few cases of same-sex couples after the 2000 years, until 2000 years ago, 20 years ago, sorry. We also have a lot of studies regarding the demographic structure of the population, but of course that our families are still traditional families, as the numbers and the studies say. The families formed as the vital cell of the society, it is still like this. But I have to say that in practice, we see that young people are thinking a lot before getting married. Some of them don't get married anymore. They just live with each other and stay with each other, but they don't have a marital status. They don't have an actual marriage, let's say like this. And this is also because young people are more oriented, are more career oriented. Women are more career oriented. They wait more until they have a child or form a family. They want to have a property before their own apartment or their own house, their own car. They have to have an economical stability in order to form a family, and this is a very strong explanation regarding the marital status of our young people, of our population. But of course that we still have marriages, we are still having traditional families, but most of young people, as I said, they prefer to wait, and unfortunately they wait until they don't get married anymore. They just stay like this with their partner. They live together but without having a traditional wedding. And unfortunately, they wait too much until they have a child, and that's why that's when they see that most of them, they are facing with infertility problems, and we are going back to the start of our discussion. I don't know if I have succeeded in answering your question. If not, I'm at your disposal to say more about the subject as far as I know.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alexandra. I think you answered the question very comprehensively. Thank you for that. So, Pak Uki,
Yes.
for the last question, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Thank you very much, Ibu Ayu Arini, for a very good question. Yes, I think I'm afraid maybe in the time, yeah,
Yes.
this is the last time, the last question. So, how effective to evaluate the effectiveness of UPPKA program? Yes, correct, Ibu Ayu. So we need to use data for this to evaluate. Yes, for example, we need to take an example or a case in Yogyakarta province when those UPPKA groups were supported or funded. Actually, they have the micro credit scheme from BPD Aku. BPD Aku is actually provincial board of the Association for Microeconomic Business Association. Yes, in Yogyakarta. They give the loan with the small interest for those small economic group, and with BKKBN we can control actually. We can evaluate so-called we call a credit macet. What is in English? A stuck credit, yeah, credit macet. So actually they improving, yes. And as time goes by, those proportion of the credit macet is already become lower, yes. And then we also capture from the family enumeration data. We set the target 15% of the family with the micro entrepreneurship activities already achieve this target. So at least 50% of the family, they can have the entrepreneurship activity. And beside that, the member of those group OPPKA also the family planning clients. So also we have the data, so we can cross each other with the data of family planning program and also the family income generation. So we keep the data closely monitor. And then based on this, also we can capture the data that basically, finally, we have the rate of the family living under poverty line already less than 11%. It is better than the figure last year. And last night, also the Central Bureau of Statistics of Indonesia already announced that the net economic growth rate in Indonesia still improving in the account for 5% per annum based on the data in 2023. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Uki. So, ladies and gentlemen, so after 2.5 hours, I think this is the end of session for our conference and discussion. So, I would like to thank you to Ibu Dr. Listia Wardani, and then His Excellency Mr. Dan Adrian Baleneshu, and then Dr. Uki Kusuma Kurniawan, Miss Alexandra Dobre, and also His Excellency Mr. Mediatama Suryodiningrat. So to wrap up our discussion today, because I really enjoy the overview of family programs either in Indonesia or Romania, even though we have quite a lot different situation and condition, particularly in our family within the two countries, but we still have the same goal, which is to create quality, resilient, and prosperous families who live in a healthy environment at every stage of life. So thank you for having this discussion. So wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hand it over to our MC, Bapak Yuda.
Thank you, Ibu Yulina Evariani, for moderating the discussion sessions. Actually, there are 50 more questions. However, because the time constraints, we can only address some of them. Please, once again, give applause to all research persons, moderator, and all participants. It is a fruitful discussion and very interesting to share and exchange various settings and experience on family development, population and family planning program between two countries, especially innovation in strengthening family income, lesson learned from Romania. The discussion is valuable for us to identify future collaboration. Question and answer session also give us more comprehensive situation that is context specific. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now that our webinar is coming to an end, we would like to express our deepest gratitude to our presenters and our guests of honors Her Excellency Ibu Dr. Dwi Listiawardani, His Excellency Mr. Dan Arjun Balinescu, His Excellency Mr. Mediatama Suryo Diningrat, and also Honorable Dr. Ukik Kusuma Kurniawan. I may not have any further conclusions since the presentation and discussion are comprehensive and crystal clear. And to all participants, thank you for your participation. I hope this presentation is useful for everyone. As our appreciation of your participation, please grab your e-certificate by filling out the Google form with the link provided in the chat box. Before I close this event, allow me to inform those who win the door prize today. Yeah, the first winner for the door prize is Prof. Rizal Damanik, and the second is Mr. Eko Angga Suparno from Yogyakarta. The third is Mr. Tomisah from Bangka Belitung, and the fourth is Ms. Ayu Arini from East Java. Once again, congratulations for all of you. Those who win the door prize, kindly please contact the committee through WhatsApp number provided at the chat box. Okay, and for the last informations, the Center for International Training and Collaboration BKKBN will conduct the IELTS test predictions on the next 21st and 22nd February. And we will give the priority to the participants who attend these events and also fill the link, fill the attendance link of this webinar. And of course, there will be a selection process, so don't miss it. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, see you at the next event. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you in our next Ambassador Insight event. Bye-bye.